where do you put the fossils? Where do the fossils fit? Where in biblical history was the fossil record established? Let's do a walkthrough of some key events in the history of the universe and consider the different options for where the fossils fit.
Okay, God creates in 6 days, and yes, we'll talk more about the different meanings of the word day in detail 3 weeks from now when we look at the age of the earth debate.
Right.
But at the end of creation week, God calls his creation very good. Now, that's a key point. And another one is when Adam and Eve sinned, they ate the fruit, they were told not to, and it was at that point that creation went from very good to more like what we see today.
Yes, today there's both moral evil, that's evil people doing evil things, and all of us contribute to that, sadly, because all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. But there's also natural evil, earthquakes, hurricanes, mudslides, drought, famine, diseases like cancer that cause pain and kill people. This is not the very good world that God created. This is the very good world that has been cursed. Big difference.
Yeah, those things didn't exist in the very good world. Before sin, Adam and Eve didn't need to worry about diseases or being buried in mudslides or attacked by wild animals or venomous snakes.
Yeah.
You know, in Genesis 1:29, they were commanded to eat plants, and in verse 30, the animals were too. So there was no carnivorous activity in the very good world, no bloodshed whatsoever, actually.
Yeah, and the Bible refers to death as an enemy that will be destroyed. In Revelation 21, we read that the curse on creation will one day be removed. There will be a restoration of sorts back to a world where there's no death, mourning, crying, or pain.
Okay, so the next major event is the flood that totally reshaped the surface of the earth and rebooted human population from the 8 people who were on the ark. So there's a snippet of the early history of the earth from the Bible, and where did the fossils fit in?
Now, to help you answer that, here are some things scientists have discovered in the fossil record. It's, of course, a record of dead things, dead plants and animals. It's also a record of pain, diseases, extinction, carnivorous activity. There are fossil thorns, and there are fossil humans.
Well, clearly those things are the result of the curse on creation. So where do they fit in? They fit here. The flood is a great mechanism to rapidly bury plants and animals after Adam sinned.
That's right.
It all fits. There are fossil thorns. Clearly thorns weren't a part of the very good world, but a result of the curse.
Yes. Yeah.
Here's a picture of a T-Rex tooth embedded between 2 vertebrae of a hadrosaur. Ouch.
Oh.
Of course, that must have happened after Adam sinned and not before.
Not in the very good world, yeah. And obviously, the fossil record is a record of death, along with all these other bad things. But biblically, death was the result of sin. When Adam sinned, God said, Adam, you're going to die. I made you from dust, you're going to go back to dust. Physical death was a result of sin, as it says in Romans 5:12. Therefore, just as sin came into the world through one man, and death through sin, so death spread to all men because all sinned.
Okay, now this is an important part of the gospel, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Physical death resulted from the first Adam's sin. Then Jesus, who is nicknamed the last Adam, pays the price of physical death to redeem us from sin.
Yes.
Physical death is required to pay for sins. As Hebrews 9:22 says, without the shedding of blood, there's no forgiveness of sins.